Many thanks to Fatal Attraction Vanilla servers, one original DayZ servers, Classic Vanilla servers, Sgt. Pepper's DayZ Invasion server, Sea of Tools Cloud, Double Tap, DZD servers, and We That Remain roleplay for making this video possible. There's a huge amount to learn when it comes to DayZ Frostline's new map, Sakal, but I've got you covered as I go over every key location and what can be found there, going from player spawn points to the very best military locations, and taking you from a Sakal student to a Sakal specialist. The map of Sakal is split into 4 distinct areas: the mainland coast, the mainland interior, Buran, and the outer islands. Player spawn points are located on the main island coast in the north and the east across 11 different villages and 2 different towns, which all have water springs, but I'll show the water locations later. For now, let's get started in the far northwest. We have the village of Zupanovo, which doesn't have anything special but residential loot, but the village next to it, Sovetskoy, does. This mini port village has a medical building, medical tents, and even military tents, so it's a great place to start out if you're a fresh spawn. East of that is Yasnomorsk. Again, not much but residential loot in these small villages, but the same can be said about Eve, Tomanovo, Orlovo, Podgorno, and Rybnoy. Starting on the east coast then, right next to a great town is Matrosovo, which is quite far away from the next village to the south, Shumnoy. Shumnoy is good because it has a medic building and it has gas pumps to the south of it, which is right next to the final player spawn point on this map, which is Vostok. There are other villages on the mainland coast, but these are to the south and they don't spawn players, and there's not much but residential and industrial loot there. This includes Yushnoy, Tarinay, Dudino, and Bolotnoy. From these 15 villages, the best place to get loot are the towns that are nearby, starting with Severomorsk in the north, which is a fire station, police station, medic building, gas pumps, medical tents, and even military tents here, making it the best place to loot in the north. The second best in the north is the town of Rudnogorsk, which has a fire station, police station, gas pumps, medical tents, military tents, and many military containers, but does spawn mostly industrial loot here. The only town on the east coast is Aniva, which again has a fire station, police station, medic building, medic tents, and military tents. You're seeing a theme here. These towns are great for loot, and the only remaining loot location on the coast is the capital city itself, which I'm calling Petro because the name of this is very long, housing a fire station, police station, medical building, north gas pump, south gas pump, medical tents, and military tents as well. All of these big towns have a lot of loot. In addition, all 19 locations that I just spammed have water springs, with only the mainland having these clean water sources, and if you find an in-game map, these water sources are going to be automatically marked on your map. There are several decent interior villages, 2 of which have water springs too, located here, so it is possible to get clean drinking water inland. The rest of the mainland interior is mostly just point of interest locations, such as a radio station in the north, followed by the volcano, only 1 building on it, spawning medical and military loot though. To the east of the volcano you do have what I'm calling base camp, which has many military and medical tents, a wrecked heli, and several types of these sandbag bunkers. Directly to the south of here is a quarry which has a small amount of industrial loot considering how big this quarry is, and south again will get you to the prison camp, spawning the largest concentration of police loot I've ever seen. Up the nearby hill from here is a hard to miss radome building which has loot on the catwalk of this radome structure, with a couple of military buildings here too. Heading to the centre of the main island is the geothermal power plant, which has a lot of roof access on all sides of this structure but is mostly unenterable. There is a place that you can get into it, but there's not much there, spawning mostly industrial loot. Just outside the geothermal power plant you have 3 of the 5 hot springs on this map, with another hot spring being near the quarry and the final one being next to what's called Lick Mountain. The most noteworthy mountain on this map is Ice Ridge Mountain to the southeast, which has 2 towers on it and is the longest mountain chain on this map. You can see it from nearly every location. On the far west of this chain you will see Ice Ridge Military Camp, which has a lot of military loot in. The second military camp is located at Lick Mountain, which we'll just call Lick Military Camp, having decent loot with its military containers and tents, and also has a wrecked heli. The third and final military camp is what I'm calling Yasna Military Camp, located on a nameless peak to the south of the geothermal power plant, housing a mini radome with a mix of military and industrial loot. And finally for the mainland we have the great town of Nagovo, which has a police station, medic building and gas pumps, with gas pumps also being available in the airport area. This airstrip has a fire station, medical tents, loads of military tents, wrecked helis, and is basically the best place to get military gear on the main island, so this is certainly going to be a PvP hotspot and will probably be the northwest airfield of Sakal. Also known as Italy for its shape, Buran is connected to the main island with road bridges, so you can drive here if you dodge the debris on the road and the oncoming vehicles of course. The entrance has a few military buildings to lure you inside, which is basically a giant industrial / military area throughout this whole place. The 3 main hubs are Westport, Eastport, and Southport, all having military and industrial loot. Southport is the largest of the three and has a fire station, gas pumps, and the most military loot, with loads of military structures positioned in the fields nearby, with the new hangar buildings being here, and the sandbag bunkers on the hill also providing loot. The main attraction of Buran though is its bunker located here, which can be opened without the need of a keycard or any device at all. It's pitch black inside and has better than average loot. The 4 doors inside, ranging from A1 to A4, can be opened by powering a nearby generator to the south in this building, and it requires gas and a glow plug to operate. Each of these switches controls one of the doors, but only one door can be opened at a time. Most of the outer islands don't have much on, but some of them do spawn these military containers that spawn the NATO equipment and weapons that are found on this map. Other than that, there isn't much on the outer islands apart from the potential to create a base or a stash here far away from players that don't have access to a boat. There is an abandoned village on the large southeast island here and an archway on the northern island, but the largest island is just barren, so I'll update you guys if and when they flesh these islands out. For now, I'm going to play a game with all the locations I've spoke about in this video, in which you have to name the locations as I fly over them to see what you've learned or haven't learned, going from mainland coast to interior to Buran. Good luck, thank you very much for watching, and have a good day.